Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for December 10th, 2024. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to be talking about these 10 articles. Kroger Albertson's wedding has been called off. Avanti West Coast strikes. Subaru Outback returned through the front door. Whoops, our biobad. Inside the North Pole Christmas home. Pop-up holiday bars. Santa Claus is a foreign agent. Fortnite refund. Don't bring luggage to Tokyo. And prohibition-themed bars. See you on the other side, because everything is powered by... Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Oh, you were quiet, and then you got loud. I don't know what's going on. We're just doing it. Anyway, look, I'm wearing Christmas garb.
Is that like Die Hard as a Christmas movie?
What's it? Falcon and the Snowman. It's actually to Avenger.
Yeah, it's Marvel.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. First article's over in Non Sequitur News. Hey, it's a good name for a show. It's this show. We're in a time machine. We have to get this going. So, just so everybody knows, I might be rushing through this little steam engine because I have mayoral duties in less than 2 hours now. And so we have to do 2 episodes of Time Machine. Let's see if we can get it done.
Then we gotta get moving.
Yeah, so shut up, Mayor Watt. Let's get into it, right? Yes, let's get into it.
I already said, let's get moving.
This is supposed to be blue, but it's coming across as white. Not quite sure what's going on. I'm purple.
Time frame.
But I'm coming across as... Oh, I'm sorry. Non Sequitur News. Come on. You got to live up to the name. Okay, well, anyway, federal judge blocks the Kroger Albertsons wedding. I'm all on board for this. I like competition because competition is good for customers.
You don't want the wedding. You want the
I want the divorce.
Companies.
Yeah, I want what is it called? I want
a prenup?
Not a prenup.
I didn't know what you meant.
I want a strike before, right?
Oh, preemptive strike.
A preemptive strike. Thank you. It's a big word for Mayor Watt. So anyway, today, which is the 10th, December 10th, a U.S. district judge blocked the grocery giant Kroger's plan to acquire Albertsons, finding that the move would limit grocery sector competition. I agree. All mergers and acquisition, actually. And I think that it's asinine for anybody to suggest that a merger or acquisition is good for customers, because here's what happens, and I've said this time and time again. Competition is reduced, so prices go up, options go down. Opportunities for consumers to benefit from that competition are eliminated wholesale. And then there is so much of a barrier to entry that a competitor can't even come online. Look around. Is there anybody that can compete other than another $1 billion or $1 trillion juggernaut that can compete with Google? No? Didn't think so.
Doesn't seem like it.
Only if there is tremendous outlash from society is there a smaller competitor that can rise. Look at Twitter. Twitter shit the bed entirely. Had to go full wingnut just for Blue Sky, which has a more moderate tone, to come online and find any traction. And it only came online because Twitter shit the bed so bad. Anyway, so I am in favor of limiting mergers and acquisitions, particularly when the market is going to suffer, and suffer it will. So the decision is a victory for common sense antitrust enforcement that puts people ahead of corporations. Persistently high food prices are hitting Americans hard, and the Kroger Albertsons mega merger would have only made it worse. These are going to be statements that are being made. It's via Common Dreams. I've said it in the past, that Common Dreams typically has a volatile tone, I guess you would say, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily strike. Go ahead.
they're sometimes like opinion pieces, or they're from a particular organization that has a focus.
Yeah, an ideological bent that isn't necessarily moderate, right? And I people chuckle when I say this because they're like, "There's no such thing as a centrist." Yeah, there absolutely is, and it's people who find the value in a situation wherein everybody's playing basically to maximize the benefit to society. That isn't always the case, but a centrist is definitely trying to find the maximum benefit for society. And allowing a mega corporation to acquire all of the foodstuffs basically eliminates food security and allows somebody to monopolize the sector, meaning we all suffer. So, Food and Water Watch research into grocery store sector consolidation details how growing market concentration reduces competition and enables collusion and price fixing. We've seen that actually happen with things as simple as memory sticks, where the massive number of the limited number of producers for a massive market colluded to raise prices internationally, impacting it domestically. Leading to higher food prices for consumers, lower profits for farmers, rising profits for grocery giants, and even the farmers are being acquired hand over fist by mega corporations.
Yeah, they are. That's another problem.
Well, today's youth doesn't want to buy into yesteryear's ma and pa farm because there's too much money to be made going into fintech or technology in general. And farming is largely old school tech with very, very expensive, limited machinery, right? So there's only a few producers of these tools that are used for modern farming in ma and pa's farm. So you have to spend $250,000 for a machine. And so you go, well, I'm going to hire people, but that isn't necessarily the case. And not everybody is everywhere. Not everybody wants to work a farm, et cetera, et cetera. And so the kids bail. The farm gets acquired because it can't make ends meet. Hopefully, ma and pa paid for everything. And so the farm gets handed to the kids free of cost, $1, transfers it over. And lo and behold, the kids go, I don't want to do this shit, and sell it.
Right. Yeah, it's not a lifestyle for everybody.
Yep. So they say here from January 2020 to January 2024, the monthly food cost for a family of 4 on a thrifty food plan increased 50% from $654 to $976. Over the same period, the top 4 grocery retailers in the U.S. saw revenue increases between 9 and 36%. So you can't tell me that we all suffered the same, because the grocery stores actually tack on to what is being charged to them, because the supply side, the raw material supplier, is charging more. And so if you look at the consumer price index and you look at the supplier side index, price index, you'll see that the price to the supplier went up, or from the supplier went up, but has started declining, but the CPI continues to climb. So massive profits, even during a time where it was supposed to be painful for everybody and they were cutting people and blah, blah, blah. Record freaking profits. It's unethical. It's immoral. I am on the side of this. So kudos to them. At any rate, I'll just also harp on one other thing. Everybody should be growing microgreens in their own basement, mini farms. I'll be honest that I've been a little hypocritical about it as of late because I haven't had time to actually grow anything lately. But that means one thing in particular: I'm not wasting any water. Nothing is dying off. Everything that I can use in the future is still sitting in jars waiting for me to plant again. And it can stay there for years, really. So it's really a benefit to everybody. Grow microgreens in your basement. It's relatively simple, relatively, because you have to put some effort into it and you have to harvest, but it's small little plots, 9 by 20, and you get weeks worth of food depending on your
Well,
family.
plus you have some degree of confidence in the quality, right? You're not
Yeah.
getting affected by these large scale food recalls, etc.
Oh yeah, and you don't have to worry about like chemicals and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about insects or predation in any way. You don't have to worry about spoilage to the. Well, you don't have to worry about it from the market, but you kind of have to babysit it for yourself. But it'll go bad no matter what if you don't take care of it. So, at any rate, let's move on. Come on, let's jump on to the next article. So the next article is over in Hedge Ideas, which is about business transformation. Avanti West Coast workers are going to strike over Christmas. Happy Christmas, everybody. Train managers have voted for walkouts on the 22nd, 23rd, and 29th of December in a row over rest days.
Oh, I was like, those aren't in a row.
It's a BBC thing. I mean, it's a UK thing, European thing. So, Dearbale Jordan, you know what? I didn't give credit for the last person.
I think it's just from Common Dreams.
Common
I don't know
Dreams.
that it has an author listed because it's more like well, there's at least a point of contact.
Phoebe Galt. Oh gosh, sorry. There's just something that popped up in my radar today that I'm like, oh god. Anyway, so this article over at BBC from Dearbale Jordan put together. It's titled again, "Avanti West Coast Workers to Strike Over Christmas." So that is a train company, and it says train managers usually work a 41-hour week, but due to staff shortages, 41 hours, geez, can be asked to work on their days off, but the RMT said that the current arrangements were unacceptable. Rail services on all 3 days are expected to be limited. A revised timetable for the 22nd and 23rd of December will be made available, but around 300 train managers are expected to join the walkout. The strikes have been announced weeks after RMT members working at a number of rail companies accepted a pay raise of 4.75% for the last financial year and 4.5% increase for 2024 to 2025. So just keep you in mind here, not interest, but your average increase in the economy is 3%. So they're actually just walking away 3% a year. They're actually just walking away with a 1.75 and 1.5% increase. Now, on the other side of that, the profits or the cost of living for food alone over the last 4 years has increased 50% in the United States. That would be at par, I would say, with the UK, because it's basically a global issue where profits shoot through the roof, costs shoot through the roof, but decline slowly, if at all.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's also one that's suffered from it shows negative like trains on time, etc. But I think some of these things are vicious cycles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like either cut back on staffing or people are overworked or whatever. I'm sure there's multiple factors that go into that.
Yeah, and so the kicker here is that they're going to seek a way to automate this, just like they're doing with planes now. They're going to try and eliminate the human and automate it, put one person in charge instead of three for a long haul or whatever. But you remove the human from this, automation plays the biggest role. And when it fails, then you just go, oh, we had a technical breakdown, and that's why the trainload of people crashed. It wasn't the company's fault. It wasn't a person's fault. It was a technical issue. And then you hold the company accountable, but all they do is pay the bill and then raise the prices to recoup it within 5 years. And no soul is lost, but they are selling their soul. And so you get outrage. Outrage seems to wane, just, oh, well, we're done.
Well, you
Anyway,
can only be outraged for so long and for about so many different things.
yeah. I mean, you basically, it's like if you keep on smelling, if you work in a flower shop, all you do is smell roses, and eventually you become nose blind too. And I don't
Right,
know
even
if
though you
that's,
might think it's the best smell or something.
yeah, you just, like I actually have a scent burner here in the studio. And at one point, I'm like, I don't smell this anymore. And then somebody came into the studio and was like, man, you got to turn that thing down. Oh, didn't realize. Anyway, oddly enough, though, I wasn't burning anything that day. Huh. And maybe it was just Mara Watt's manly scent. Moving on. Mayoral scent. Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm moving on. Anyway, the next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. Man returns used Subaru Outback by driving it through the up front.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah. I'm sorry you can't park that here. Oh, I'm not parking it. I'm abandoning it. Have you ever bought a vehicle that turned out to not quite be as advertised, and you wish that you could just take it right back to the seller and give them a piece of your mind? Well, one Utah man tried after buying a used Subaru from a Mazda dealer. Well, there's your problem. You bought a Subaru from a Mazda dealer.
Exactly. I mean, what were you doing? Either get a Mazda at the Mazda dealer or go to the Subaru dealer for the Subaru.
That's right. Come on. So you wouldn't go to a brain surgeon to get a heart transplant, would you? You wouldn't download a Subaru, would you? Sorry. Never mind. That's back in the days of piracy being really big, and there was moral outrage from everybody in the press because, oh God, you can't download a piece of software that you were never going to pay for anyway and try it out. Anyway, never mind. Well, they did so. They did their return in spectacular fashion, driving the Outback up front. Amber De Silva over at jalopnik.com put this article together. The dealership apparently refused a more typical return process. There are lemon laws, but I don't know if it applies in Ute. Let's see here. A Redditor who works at another dealer in the area posted a video of the crash that they said spread quickly through local circles, and they claim the return was due to overcharge rather than an issue with the car. So it's not clear what that issue was with the Outback, but as of this morning, the car was still listed on the dealer's website for just $37.55. If that's an overcharge, I'd buy that. Wait,
No, I don't think, I think perhaps the problem is maybe they charged more than the advertised price.
$37.55. Yeah, while on the phone with the dealership, a man was told that the sale was final and the car was as is purchased. The suspect reportedly threatened that he would drive the car through the dealership's front door if they didn't take the car back. And Moffat said that the suspect returned to the dealership around 4 p.m. Hey, it's before closing hours, so they should have accepted the return on Monday and actually drove the car through the front of the dealership. Should have left the door open, let him just park it right into the...
Exactly. I mean...
They knew he was coming. Weird. So combine that with the as-is sale, and you don't exactly have a recipe for success. So the marketplace would be low for an Outback in good condition, even on Marketplace. So if the market says that that would be low...
I mean, that seems ridiculously low. I don't think you can buy any kind of car for that price.
Yeah. Was there... I mean, it was a drivable car. They drove it into the store. I would buy...
That's true.
What year Outback is it? Maybe... Oh, it's a 2008 Subaru Outback. Dear God.
It still seems low price, though, because, like, you can't... It's very hard to find a car that will drive for that price.
Come on, you'd be... Look, it should be getting its job and applying to colleges. My God. Anyway, it's a 16-year-old car. It's about to be 17. Anyway.
Yeah, I kind of want to know more about what the issue was.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was good enough to drive into the building. Let's keep going. So we're we're way past Halloween, so we're not going to scare you with this, but we're probably going to scare you with this. This is a Mobile Channel article that's from Gizmodo. The Australian virus lab loses track of hundreds of deadly germs in major biosecurity breach.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
So this is a time machine episode, but do you know if there's been a follow-up?
I haven't seen a single article about this other than this one. That's also alarming. Like, this should have had multiple outlets covering it.
While the exact fate of the misplaced samples is still unknown, they likely pose no danger to the public, government officials have said.
Like those escaped monkeys.
Ed Cara put the article together. Well, I guess it's in Australia. It couldn't possibly get on a plane, right?
Oh, never.
COVID stayed in China, right?
Definitely. But maybe, just maybe, one of these will merge with something that's already deadly in Australia. Like one of those snakes that like makes your roof cave in or something. Maybe it can get one of these.
Snakes on a plane?
Mm-hmm.
So at the state-run Public Health Virology Laboratory in Queensland, that occurred in 2021. What?
Well, now I see why it's not breaking news everywhere.
A breach resulting in the misplacement of samples containing several potentially deadly germs, including hantavirus, but they likely pose no danger to the public. Hantavirus poses a danger to the public, at least in close proximity to them.
Yeah, it does.
So the misplaced samples contained Hendra virus, Lissa virus, and hantavirus. All three viruses are predominantly caught through contact with animals and can cause life-threatening infections. Hendra's natural hosts are flying fox bats. Bad bat. It's a bad bat situation. Oh, I need to make a little thing. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. We'll just do that. Like, bad bat situation. I don't understand this. Why they waited until now to actually do it? So still,
was it actually disclosed before now?
No, they just now disclosed it. Officials didn't notice the missing viruses until August 2023. The breach took place in 2021. They say there's no evidence of risk to the community from the 2021 breach, and our government is working to make sure it doesn't happen again. But they didn't say anything until August of 2020. They didn't notice until 2023.
And then they waited until almost 2025 to report it.
I feel safe. Let's go visit Santa Claus, where viruses may or may not persist. Actually,
we have to be careful. We don't know if the virus has made it to the North Pole.
Oof, you're killing me. So viruses, by the way, in the cold, they typically have a protein coat that covers them, and they harden. So they end up deeper in your lungs if you inhale them, or in your they survive longer on you, and then you bring them into a nice warm place, and then they thaw out.
Yeah, cold weather doesn't kill them.
So with that note, let's look inside Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus's $1.2 million North Pole home. It's Santa Claus's busiest time of the year, and he's running drills with the reindeer, overseeing the elves' toy production and making the final call on which children are naughty and which are nice. And now, on top of all of those responsibility, apparently Santa is staging his house for Zillow. So Zillow is a property valuation site. So the article is over at qz.com, Quartz, as it's called, and Madeline Fitzgerald put the article together. I've always loved the name Madeline. Anyway, there's a detached all-weather garage designed to accommodate a sleigh and stable equipped for reindeer. That can't be the actual...
I think it is.
Oh my gosh. So it's a log cabin, for those in the podcast. It's a log cabin. I've always liked log cabins, but from a distance. I don't think that I would want to own one. The tone, the color scheme can't be changed.
Oh, right. Like, you're not changing the walls or whatever. And you don't tend to have a lot of It depends on the design, but a lot of windows either.
Yeah, it's usually a little bit. Whoever took these pictures must have turned up the gain on this because every log cabin that I've ever been in has been darker than what this is kind of embodying. But this thing looks like it's straight out of a Christmas, like Santa Claus kind of
Oh
house.
yeah.
This should be a Airbnb kind of a thing. What the heck? Start over.
Well, maybe it is.
So built in 1820. My God, that is well kept. 1822, the same year Clement Clark Moore wrote, "'Twas the night before Christmas. The 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is 2,086 square feet. Does that look like on 25
No,
acres? Damn it, I might be moving. Wait, where is this?
we don't know where it's actually located. It says North Pole Home, but
That has to be. No, that can't be right. There is a link, I think. Um, anyway, it's a 25-acre lot. Watch, it's like downtown Washington, D.C. It's not.
right. It's
The
not
prop
actually for sale though.
Is it not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought it was being put up on staging the house for Zillow.
It's a showcase.
Oh, is that all it is? I'm robbed. Unfortunately for anyone in the market for North Pole properties, the real estate's listing website is highlighting the big man's log cabin. I don't know if I like the tone of that. Oh, as a showcase. That's the rest of the sentence. Meaning it's not actually for sale. If the Clauses did want to move into a new place, however, real estate experts value their current home at $1.2 million. Anyway, they're celebrating the holidays, and a new home is exciting, but you can also be overwhelming, says Amanda Pendleton, Zillow's home trends expert. All right.
Well, I think that looks pretty cool, and it definitely looks Christmassy.
It's very cute. I think this is computer generated, though. And then
It
this
may
is
be.
just slapped on there. I don't know. I feel cheated. Let's move on. Moving on. Next article is over in the Order of the Grape. Like Christmas decorations, holiday pop-up bars arrived earlier than ever this year. Christmas is over a month away, and they're sitting. And this is when the article apparently is referencing Christmas as being over a month away, but it's December 10th.
Maybe it was refreshed or edited or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Woman wearing a knit holiday sweater with blinking lights and a headboard with reindeer antlers shimmies past them and slides a letter to Mariah Carey, I guess, onto the drop box at the entrance. It didn't feel like Christmas before they walked in. Thanksgiving was still days away, and now it feels like someone vomited Christmas all over the bar. Oh, so it's the context of their story. That Christmas was a month away at the telling of this story.
Oh, okay.
Adam Rayner put the article together over at vinepair.com. And they say, as far as they can tell, everyone who's ponied up $22 for an admission ticket appears to be very serious about Christmas and even more serious about Mariah Carey. It's the 30th anniversary of Carey's ubiquitous holiday anthem, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And to commemorate the milestone, she launched a series of holiday pop-up bars across the country. The Black Irish Holiday Bar, developed in partnership with Virgin Hotels and Bucket Listers, was launched November 15th in New York, Dallas, New Orleans, Nashville, and Chicago. It's a place for lustful Mariah Carey fans and the Christmas-obsessed to sip treacly martinis made with 3 variations of Black Irish. Carey's. Sorry.
Is Black Irish a liquor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Bailey's style Irish cream while being bombarded by all Mariah playlist of seemingly every Christmas song she's ever recorded shuffling on repeat.
That could either drive you crazy or be quite enjoyable, depending on your love of Christmas songs or fear of them.
Yeah, so they have some pictures of it, like a big central picture or a central stack of presents that have like snow kind of a effect flowing around them, and It's typical Christmas red and white and tinsel kind of a thing. They say here, from its humble beginnings and subsequent Sippin' Santa branded spin-offs, there are now over 200 satellite locations across the world that have signed on to cosplay Christmas with Cocktail Kingdom's tried and true templates. But this year, as with Mariah Carey's Black Irish Holiday Bar, which opened 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, the party started mid-November.
Well, I'm surprised it didn't start before Halloween.
Yeah, you kind of roll from Oktoberfest straight into Christmas Fest. I don't know. There are people that really, 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 really love Christmas. So yeah, they say the same is true at Snow Day in Brooklyn, a Christmas-themed pop-up at Sunday in Brooklyn in Williamsburg, which opened earlier this season than it has in its 7-year existence. So yeah, there's more to this article, but we won't be able to go through all of it. We're on a timeline here. We don't want to get stuck in time.
The time machine's gonna run out of energy or something if we don't keep moving.
I think people just want to feel good for the holidays. And so if they can start 2 weeks early and roll it into Thanksgiving and just, I don't know, ride that wave into the new year, I'm for it.
I agree. As long as they're not eating like tons of sugar cookies every single day for 2 months or something.
Guess I have to ignore everything that's on the left-hand side of my chair. So installing a holiday pop-up can have a meaningful impact on a bar's bottom line. I don't know. I think that's funny, a bar's bottom line. The financial opportunity presented by the seasonal concepts has encouraged many luminaries in the craft cocktail world to throw their hats into the ring. Kelsey Ramage, I guess, of Trash Tiki fame, and Aaron Hayes, formerly of Chicago's Lost Lake, started their Krampus Cove pop-up in Los Angeles 3 seasons ago and have added new partner bars every year since. Last year, we did 2 venues and each saw about a 70% increase in revenue over the month of December. Holiday pop-up bars just sound like it would be a blast, you know? But, like, not the holiday that you're in. You have to catch right after, right? So right before a holiday, right after a holiday. And then pivot. Dunk. And you know what's really interesting is I called that. I said that there should be a store that rotates, and just outside of ohmTown is a store that actually rotates into it. It changes form from one form into a Christmas store every year because, well, the other version of the store is diametrically opposed to Christmas.
Right, I guess it makes sense if you're a seasonal business to keep everything going all year round.
That's right. It is a Church of Satan pop-up shop in the other months. But when Christmas rolls around, whoo-wee, does it change shape. I don't want anybody doxing me. Anyway, the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Santa Claus branded foreign agent in Russia. Pro-Kremlin activist Vitaly Borodin has pushed for Santa Claus to be deemed a foreign agent in Russia due to his popularity in unfriendly countries.
This is epic.
Maya Marara put the article together for Newsweek.com. And what's interesting, though, is that there actually is like a Russian version of Santa. It's like a Kris Kringle kind of a thing, not Santa, because Kris Kringle is slightly different. But it says, unfriendly countries, which uses image to undermine traditional Christmas values. The person's name is Medusa.
Is it Morozko or Dead Moroz?
You mean the person? The
figure
entity?
Similar to St. Nicholas.
Like Father Frost and the Snow Maiden. I don't know what the Dead Moroz, right, is what they want to replace it with. Yeah. Or Moroz. I think it is Moroz.
Yeah, I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly.
Snegurochka is the other name. And the daughter of Dead Moroz, also known as the Snow Maiden. which I want to use as a female-led heavy metal cover band and refer to. They're going to do Iron Maiden songs, but all female band, and we're going to refer to them as Snow Maiden. Yeah, that'll be on the Mix War label, coming soon from an AI near you. Anyway, they're Russian festive cultural figures. He continued, we need to support domestic manufacturers who create truly high quality and beautiful holiday attributes that can give a real fairy tale. Let's cleanse the space of foreign symbols. Oh, just a beautiful message, right? Right? I mean,
Absolutely. Very festive, very in the holiday spirit.
Screw you. You're not like us. Ugh. Anyway, the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Fortnite refund. FTC to hand out $72 million to players. See how we non sequitur from one article to another? You thought that there was a trend, but hell no. Not here.
It just happened to, you linked them together, but I'm not sure there was a link.
No, they were only linked together because that's how I threw the submissions into the rundown. So Epic Games has settled with FTC over allegations that it used dark patterns to trick players into unwanted purchases. The background music is kind of a dark pattern. Flynn Nichols over at Newsweek.com put this article together, and it says, so what did the lawsuit actually say? By the way, the refund follows a $245 million settlement with Fortnite developer Epic Games announced in December of 2022 over allegations that the game maker used dark patterns to trick players into unwanted purchases.
What does that mean?
Which part? The
dark patterns.
So it basically tricks it encourages you to make a series of clicks that lead to a purchase, and then you're done. What the hell is the music that is playing in the background here? Who hit play on that? Anyway, sorry about that. I had to change that.
I couldn't hear it.
It's a little louder for us than it is for everybody else. Hold on. Yeah, you should be able to hear it. Well, at any rate, so yeah, what ends up happening is people follow, when you do a series of steps and then one of them is like confirmation of something, it basically is like a purchase, or something that leads you to a purchase. And then once you've purchased it, it's a done deal. And so they explain how this is, and then you can't get out of it without hitting confirm or something else. FTC alleged that Fortnite's design caused players to incur unwanted charges through misleading and confusing button configurations. So picture that we play a game and you use that interface to play the game. And at the bottom of the game, I'm not going to name the game because I don't want any blowback from naming the game. But at the bottom of the game is an advertisement that looks really similar to the interface of the game itself. And when it pops up an alert or a notice, you instinctively click that because you think, now you only do it once in this particular interface because you learn really quick that bottom thing is nothing more than spam. And the developer doesn't allow you to do a one-time purchase of the game and then remove the ads. It's very predatory, I think. Let people pay whatever cost you think is equal to like 4 years or 3 years or 2 years worth of advertising revenue. Well, anyway, that's kind of what this is. You follow a series of steps to get to something, and then by that time you're so deep into it that you basically make a purchase. And it could be just one or two things. It's not that big of a deal in terms of how much effort you have to put into it. They remove the friction by including it into the interface so that when you click it, it's like a purchase. I don't know. I'm not really hip to it. So I don't like making in-game purchases, microtransactions, and stuff like that. I'd rather just buy the game and be done with it. So at FTC, previously ordered Epic Games to pay $245 million for tricking players into making unwanted purchases and letting kids rack up unauthorized charges, she wrote. But that letting kids rack up unauthorized charges is a different dynamic here. Even with the dark pattern, kids shouldn't be purchasing stuff without
No.
authorizing it from their parents. Now, the problem there is kids aren't necessarily, going to follow what the parents say. And so, well, it's attached. I can make the purchase. It's not a big deal. Well, you have to have a
Yeah, but also if it's one of those where you're like tricking people into purchasing something, that's combined with that becomes an issue.
trust but verify, and teach your kids to not just randomly click shit. I mean, you really have to teach your kids. Your kids don't grow up wise. They become wise through teachable moments, through education, through parents being interactive with their kids, treating them not as, infants all the way up until they're 18, but empowering them to think critically and do the due diligence necessary to click with care. That isn't really what goes on. Here's your phone, son or daughter, and off you go, or child, I should say. Here you go, child. Here's your phone. Off you go. I'm going to go talk with my friends. You can't do that. Why? Because somebody's going to rack up $4,000. And you have to have that kid actually respect you. Otherwise, they'll just do whatever the hell they want to. And you know what? That makes them such a great asset to society, them thinking that they're the main character. So you, if you have been caught by this, may be able to get your money back. You have to follow a link, www.ftc.gov/Fortnite. And if you have something that you want to say about my messaging in this section, you can send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com, or you can come into the chat either in YouTube or Twitch, because we stream to both right now, and I've got both chats open. They're not linked, not right now. Anyway, off we go. Sound good?
Well, yes, but this is also a decent settlement. I mean, a lot of these matters you get like 10 cents or a coupon for something down the road or whatever. So might
Yeah.
be worth looking into if you were using this.
How much?
$114.
Average.
Yeah, which is much higher than a lot of these.
Oh, yeah. Normally, the return on your complaint is like 40 cents.
Exactly. You're going to spend more time and money trying to recoup that.
Yeah. Okay. So, I bought something from a developer. The developer collapsed. They transferred the assets to a buyer, which, mergers and acquisitions, if they buy troubled assets, they're not bound to the contractual obligations of future development, right? So I was supposed to get a couple pieces of hardware. Well, they're not honoring them. It's part of the settlement. It literally cost me more money to open each of the individual letters than what I got as a refund.
Yeah, that's outrageous, but not surprising.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think I opened 8 physical letters notifying me of the status of the settlement. And at the end of that, I think I got a check for like 40 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News as well. Japan Airlines doesn't want you to take your luggage on the train when you visit Tokyo. Japan Airlines is offering a same-day luggage delivery service for visitors to Tokyo. The service costs $29. And the airline says it will help combat congestion on public transport. The weekend has made Japan a popular destination for visitors from countries including the U.S.
Okay, I would pay this if it meant I didn't have to schlep my luggage all over the city or on a crowded train or something.
But is it going to end up like the luggage in, what was the Hallmark movie? Where it ended up in
Oh, it
Iceland?
was it Operation Nutcracker?
No, it was the one with all of the handmade um, glass, whatchamacallits,
Oh, Heidelberg
Christmas.
holiday.
Oh, Heidelberg Holiday. Handmade um, ornaments.
Glass blown ornaments.
Glass, yeah, glass blown ornaments just got wrecked because they used a budget. Now, I think the messaging in that was really to use UPS. Um,
It was kind of clever advertising.
yeah, the name brand UPS, not the
Not the knockoff UPS.
knockoff UPS. Yeah. Anyway, so the same day service costs $4,500 or 4,500 yen, or 29 US dollars per suitcase. That is not that. The service does not cost $29. It costs $29 per suitcase.
All right, now it's getting less attractive because if you have a family and have 4 bags or something,
yeah, you got
I'd
10
rather
bags.
schlep the bags.
You got 10 bags, it's $300 plus tip. You're going to have to tip. I wouldn't tip.
That's on top of your high airfare costs.
So just don't fly into Haneda Airport, which is probably the only airport in Japan. All right. So the article is actually over at Business Insider by Maria Nguyen. And this looks like a train. Yeah, so they don't want you carrying your luggage onto a train. That's the real thing here. So JAL said that the initiative will help address social issues such as congestion in public transportation and the shortage of storage lockers, as well as making life easier for tourists. The baggage-free service, which isn't baggage free, it's baggage $29 per bag, which is also available in for Japanese residents, covers 14 districts in Tokyo, including Shinjuku. I have not been to Japan. I want to go to Japan.
There's about 7, I think, international airports in Japan, and there's multiple others that are domestic only.
Well, you just called me out. It's okay. It's an AI-sized bus hitting me.
Well, just don't bring a bunch of bags with you on the train, and you'll be fine.
I have so much baggage. Ugh. Anyway, in May, a mesh barrier was erected in the town of, I just wanted to say this, Fujikawaguchiko, to block views of Mount Fuji for tourists gathering in crowds, leaving trash and ignoring traffic signs. So when you go to Japan to look at Mount Fuji, quit being an asshole. Let's move on. Our last article for the Time Machine episode for December 10th is over in Distillerist. Prohibition-themed bars open up in Warwickshire. It's actually just one. But the bar, which will offer cocktails and live music, will officially open as a private members bar in January. The 40-meter site has been unused for 10 years, having previously been home to the Robin's Well Cellar Bar. The drinks menu has been created by General Manager Matthew Nisbets and Bar Manager Bethany Gaunt. Highlights include the Flapper and the Frolic Pad, which blends gin, lychee, Italicus, which I've never heard of. Italicus liquor.
That doesn't even sound like something that you can imbibe.
Yeah, it sounds like something that I caught from that bad bat that escaped from
Australia.
Yeah. Ginger, grapefruit, prosecco, the Blanc foam. Okay. The Bootlegger's Blush, which features Tanqueray, rhubarb. What is her name? The rhubarb bar?
Barbara's rhubarb bar.
Barbara's rhubarb bar. Yeah, you have to say it in German. Go and look it up on YouTube. Lemon ginger ale, not ginger. She can be cranky sometimes, especially around the holidays. And then and grapefruit and Peaching the Bulls, which is named after a Prohibition era term. So this article is over at thespiritsbusiness.com by Lauren Bowes. Hush in Leamington Spa is a speakeasy-style underground bar inspired by the U.S. Prohibition era in the 1920s and 1930s. I would love to go to... I love theme bars. Like I like Irish pubs in particular. I love to go and sing and close the bar down and help the band pack up and put their stuff away. It's just a blast. And the more themed it is, the better. And a U.S. Prohibition era bar would be just so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The two look like kids. I feel old just looking at them.
That's the general manager?
The general manager and the bar manager. My God, they look like they're 18.
They don't look like they're of drinking age.
Dear God, this has laid me low, man. I feel really old. So the bar will offer 13 gins, 13 rums, 25 whiskeys, including Scotch, Irish, English, and Japanese, as well as spirits. 20 wines will be stocked. And the venue will open to members on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in the new year. So it's a limited, members-only, Prohibition era bar.
And it's so themed. It says it has an unmarked door, and it's just very cool.
They need to bring this to the United States because you just never know if Prohibition's going to everything old is new again, baby. Anyway, so what we're going to end up doing here at this Prohibition era bar is to get blackout drunk, and when we wake up, we'll be at the front page of ohmtown.com. No, did I say something wrong?
Yeah, I think maybe just have a cocktail.
Oh, we're going to drink responsibly and not go home with a stranger. Did I yuck somebody's yum? I mean, do you want to go home with a stranger? I don't know. Either way, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And with that, I'm going to say bye, and so's the sentient AI.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for the December 10th Non Sequitur News. Yes, I almost said the old name of the show. Stay tuned. Really quickly, we'll have the next day's episode. It's kind of weird how that happens.
Use your words. Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.